Hello, my friends and family. My name is Maya Angelou. I know, and I know that you know, that people live in direct relationship to the heroes and sheroes they have, in all ways. They may be heroes long dead, like Frederick Douglass, or for that matter, like Sojourner Truth, or people that many of us knew, who I'm sorry to say, passed on to that next dimension, like Dr. Martin Luther King and President Nelson Mandela. They are in our lifetimes and in our generation. I know that when we respect those who've gone before, those who've offered, and in some cases laid down their lives so that we could have better lives. When we respect them and thank them and teach our children about them, then they have been surely repaid as much as we can. But also the children are stronger. If a person doesn't know where he's going, where he's come from, it's almost impossible for him or her to know where he's going. That's true in very practical ways. If you didn't know where you parked your car, when you leave this place, you won't know how to get home. You won't even know where home is. So we need to know where we've come from. It's my blessing that at one point in my middle age, I was asked to be the Northern representative of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and representative of Dr. Martin Luther King. His life, his courage, his intelligence, and his faith inspired me so that I became a better person, a bigger person, and a better teacher because of Dr. Martin Luther King. I also met Mr. Mandela and got to know him. He came to Cairo, Egypt, when I was living there. I was working as a journalist. And he was the president and founder of the ANC, the African National Congress, that was in South Africa. And the other organization was the PAC, Pan-African Congress. I was married to a man who was the leader of the Pan-African Congress. What amazed me was that the PAC people and the ANC people who were working together in Cairo, trying to eradicate the vulgarity of apartheid from their country. They would argue, those men would shout in the living rooms and then at the dining table and out in the street, they would shout at each other. Of course, they were rivals, but they were rivals really doing the same thing, trying to eradicate apartheid and racism. When Mr. Mandela came, he didn't shout at anybody. I mean, they could be his rivals. He was very kind. He was very generous. He was not an elitist. I had a housekeeper, and he said, "Oh, I like the shoes you're wearing, madam. Those are very good. They look very comfortable." He didn't try to hold himself because he was Nelson Mandela, that he would hold himself away from the people on the lower class, and menials and so. That was true of Martin Luther King. I have found that true of everybody who aspires to greatness. The greater the person, the more accessible he or she is. When the person says, if a person is confronted and asked, "Give me an autograph, please," and the star says, "Get out of my face, I don't know, no, I'm too busy," and there's something there. Watch that person. He or she will not go very far. So one of the things I've learned, and I try to teach, is keep yourself accessible. People may find a way that you can help them. I know one of the great songs of the pantheon of great American music is in a gospel song that says, "If the Lord wants somebody, here am I, send me." That's amazing. And yet every great person we read about was that sort of person. Send me. I mean, Nelson Mandela stayed in jail 27 years. And when he came out, people were wondering, can he survive? Who's going to come out? Who's going to come out? Somebody bitter and angry? And so Mr. Mandela came out smiling, this beautiful smile, and said, "This is not a time to be angry and bitter. This is a time for us to heal ourselves." And at the inauguration, his inauguration into the presidency, it's my pleasure that I was there. He invited the guards who had guarded him for all those years in Robbins Island, in the prison. He invited them to come and sit in the good seats. Not intending to make them feel small and yeah, none of that. He said, "This is our country. We have to make it great. And we have to forgive. We have to learn to forgive." Now those of us who are trying to be Christians, I say trying to be Christians. I know people who walk up and say, "I'm a Christian." I think, already? You've already got it? My goodness. So, but those of us who know something about Christianity and other religions, which I'm not familiar with, is written into the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Forgive us our iniquities. Forgive us. Now this was true with Martin Luther King. It was true with President Nelson Mandela. This is true with a number of men, those 4 young men who sat at the table, at the counter, and really gave life to the civil rights movement. One of whom we've just lost, Mr. McCain. However, we know that what they did, you couldn't live if they were that bitter. What they had was the energy of youth, but also the spirit of a great personality. So I know that we're celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's Day, and we're celebrating President Nelson Mandela's life and death. I want to thank everybody who brings this together for us in the Piedmont, in the Triad. It's a blessing to have Mr. Pitt, the men and women who every year salute the men, especially Martin Luther King, because that's been going on for some time. It's a great blessing to have great people in your neighborhood. I feel blessed and I'm grateful. I would like to invite you to tell everything that happened here to some child. If you have children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren, as I do, I will be telling them everything that happened. Every smile, every quick word, every kind deed. Please tell the children, because they cannot know where they're going unless they know where they've been. And I thank you for asking me to say a few words. I know it's going to be a hallelujah, hallelujah, good time. Thank you. I'm Maya Angelou.